Yeah, I did slightly fuck up my sleep schedule because my body is trying to be a night owl in 2 time zones, and I'll tell you guys that's a fucking nightmare.
That doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, well, like with
Unless you're constantly crossing borders. I don't know how you can't exist in more than one time zone at a time
I
physically. Like
no,
unless you
Mentally, she's in this time zone. Physically, she's in that time
maybe if
zone.
you stand on the border
They're in
between
this time
Indiana
zone.
and Illinois, like right on the
Mm.
border, then you're technically in
Stretch your arms out real far.
yeah, your left hand's an hour ahead of your right hand
nah.
then, but otherwise, I don't
Truly.
think
I mean, I am close to a lot of really contentious borders right now, so if I really wanted to be spicy, um, I did have to have a conversation recently where I was told I was sharing my hyperfixation on like nuclear history just because I think that shit's fascinating.
I mean, it is.
And then I was told, Sarah, we are not going to Chernobyl. And I hate that my initial response to that was, yeah, of course we're not going. It's in the middle of a fucking war zone. Not, no, this place is irradiated and I shouldn't go for my health reasons, which is what the other person was saying. I just
What?
went,
No, Chernobyl's pretty much safe nowadays.
it
Like they're
depends on
opening
where
it
you
back
go.
up.
It depends on where you're at. There's still some spots that are like
Well, yeah, but
problems.
that doesn't mean you can't go to Chernobyl at all.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I would. Yeah, I'm not doing the. I don't want to do the urban exploring in Chernobyl. That seems fucking stupid.
Yeah, that seems a little
But
silly.
like going on one of like the scientist safe tours where the money for the tour goes to help maintain the facility. I'm like, I think that's fine.
Yeah, plus you
But I
might meet some
also,
really nice dogs.
yeah, that's true.
The
I just don't
Chernobyl
want to get
dogs are
hit by a
cool.
drone.
That's the one.
Yeah, well, also there's a hole in the roof now, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, it's yeah. But I am gonna go to Bone Church though, so I'm excited about that.
Yes. Give me a bone.
ooh.
I don't know if I can take a bone. I feel like the monks would be upset if I
Not
took a
if they
bone.
don't see you.
Truly. Yeah, I also just don't want to get deported back to America immediately because that would suck.
Fair. Yeah.
Imagine
Okay.
getting deported to America. Ugh, cringe.
Fuck.
And then you get here and then they don't let you in either.
Yeah, and then they're just like, we're sending it back. And I'm like,
We're sending it
okay,
back.
okay, shit. Free plane trip, let's go.
Hey, on that note, hey,
I shouldn't make
welcome
jokes like that.
to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and I'm joined by.
John, who is in the same time zone currently.
That's true.
And then me, hi, I'm Sarah. I am in a different fucking time zone. Because I'm traveling.
Oh yeah, we didn't really acknowledge that last time. I don't know if our
Yeah,
mics
not really.
sounded weird at all, but if they are, it's because we're at home right now.
Mine did.
Look, this is my cat.
I think I fixed it.
Hello, Kirby.
Windows is an absolute fucker and doesn't know how to manage audio properly. I've been fighting it for like 2 months
Yeah,
for
I've
music
been
stuff.
working. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
no, I empathize because I also do video editing stuff, and I had to go through and do a massive gut of my windows because every time I thought I got rid of all of the AI bloat, I hadn't. And that was taking up so much of my processing for video rendering, and I was just like, absolutely get the fuck out of here. But yeah, speaking of Bone Church, it's Hecata month, guys.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
A buddy of mine just switched to Linux that's like a Windows
Mhm.
copy, a clone of Linux, and
Yeah.
he said it's working really well. That's the bones of your computer system.
Yeah, and the switching over is kind of like how the Hecata formed. Oh my God, we did it.
Whoa, we're so great.
What?
Wow.
God
We are.
damn, we're smart.
God, we are so good. Anyways. So, this is the end of the Vampire the Masquerade Clan deep dive series. We're there, guys. Holy shit.
It's only gonna take 2 months,
Hopefully
two and a
not.
half
Okay.
years.
Uh
Oh God.
yeah, so if this is your first episode with us, hi, hello. Weird time to join in, but we'll take it. So
Yeah.
normally what we're doing with
Yeah.
the clan deep dives is we do the first episode where we talk about like vibes and like how some of the powers work for the clan specifically, and then the second episode would be a deep dive on like history lore stuff and then some important NPC characters for the clan, and then a bonus episode where we just kind of talked about things related to the clan that we thought were neat or important. Uh, the Hecata is weird and special, and I have to break that format entirely. So what is actually happening is this episode is going to be going over clan powers and vibes for the Hecata broadly. And then the next three episodes is going to be history deep dives on the various bloodlines that make up the Hecata.
Is there a
There are,
family?
yeah, family. No one can
When
see
you're
me doing
here,
Italian spaghetti fingers. Just
your family, the Hecata.
which is upsetting. We'll get into that in a minute. So if you are a patron of ours, one, we appreciate you, thank you, and two, you get to help us decide how this fuck ass session is gonna go. So I have tried to split up the various bloodlines into what I thought was nice little thematic groups. So there is what I'm calling mafia ties. So that's the Giovanni, the Duncern, Putinescas, Milliners, all of that. That's one group. The second group I am labeling the Global South. So this would be the Children of Tenochtitlan, the Nason San Anne slash the Samdi, and all of all of those people. And then the Mythics are the Nagaraja, the Harbingers, the Cappadocians, the Lamia, and that's like all of the bloodlines that are kind of based off of like supernatural creatures more than like actual groups of people that exist.
Bet.
So yeah,
Lamia
you
are
guys,
cool.
the Lamia are fun. If you guys go to the patron, there has been a poll. Would the poll still be up when this episode airs, Hunter, or is it gonna
It
be
will
closed by
be
now?
ending the same day this is airing. So if
Okay,
you
cool.
get to
Fate
this
has been
very
decided then.
quickly, or you can just go look and see who won.
Yes. So the
And I will
patrons
say, if there's a
will
tie, I'm just going to decide.
yeah. So the episodes for the next three episodes are being decided in a ranked choice voting situation because we love a democracy, despite the patrons constantly splitting the fucking polls just to aggravate me specifically.
Thus is the weakness of democracy.
Thus, we fucking with Sarah specifically. I mean, you say that, but like the government has taken away my gender identity this past year-ish. So yeah, the government is fucking with me specifically.
hmm
I don't exist in paper anymore. It's fantastic. Anywho,
Hey, you're off the grid.
uh,
Congrats.
I'm free now.
There are people who try so hard for that, and you just got it.
Uh, truly. Is that why they fear us? We are the only ones who are truly free. Okay, cool. So content warning on this episode, and these will carry over to the next several episodes, but I will reiterate them every time. So we'll be talking about death, esoteric themes, existential horror, familial trauma, cannibalism, necrophilia, incest, and enslavement.
Great. That's
There's no
great.
genocide this time, though.
That's true. And there
Yay.
wasn't last time either.
Right?
We'll just wait till we get down a little bit further in the list of things
In the
we'll talk
episodes, yeah, I
about.
can't promise it won't come up, but you know, it's like it's a hot topic of sorts that has a big cultural lesson that we should be learning from, but for some reason,
That's hard.
that's hard. I just want to be a catty gay guy that owns a nightclub, and I'm like, is that all you want to do in this game? Good luck. Anywho, the sources for this episode will be the 5th edition core book, the 5th edition player's guide, the Camarilla book, Cult of the Blood Gods, Children of Blood, Trail of Ash and Bone, Forgotten Religions, V5, Chicago by Night, Tattered Facade, and Blood Sigils. Yes, these are all books for 5th edition. I did not go into any of the older shit for this episode.
Because we would be here forever.
One, that's what the next three episodes are for, and
Fair.
two, the Hecata is a new thing for 5th edition, so there's literally nothing for it in the older editions, so
That's fair,
there was no
yeah.
point in looking. So I didn't. Wow.
Okay.
What?
Great.
What? Yes. So,
Also,
huh?
because I'm gonna forget it by the time we get to Mafia Ties episode, can someone
Mhm.
please make a version of the Olive Garden logo, but it just says Hecata, please? Thank you.
We will credit you and use it as the episode art.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay, so we are strapped in. I'm gonna have some caffeine. Okay, so I've already lost my marbles and we've just started this month. Holy fuck. So how do we begin? We begin with the end, which is death, which is what this clan is known for.
Being dead?
Yes, and
Hmm.
also having power over the dead and
Being kind of obsessed with it?
yes, yeah, basically their entire ethos is being entwined with dying, death, rot, and entropy. That's kind of their shtick.
It's kind
They
of
are the
cool.
necromancers, after all.
Truly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's even to the point where like even the more public facing of those clans still are just kind of like a little off-putting. They're just a little fucking weird. And it's also not uncommon for other supernaturals to be more uncomfortable with the Hecata compared to like other vampires, where they're just like, "You're a fucked up little guy," and it's like, "Yeah," and it's like, "You are too chill about that."
They're legit like, you creep me out, and they're like, thanks.
Yeah, it's like, what? I can't imagine why you'd be creeped out by me while I'm like actively snapping bones to suck out the marrow.
Right. Elbow
Yeah,
deep in a cadaver so that I can rearrange some stuff to make it a more efficient zombie.
yeah. Ah, there's where my car keys went. Okay. Uh,
I keep telling these guys not to eat them.
but they're shiny, jingle jingle. Many within the Hecata have a deep fascination with the processes of illness, dying, and decay. Uh, some will be very poetic about it and be interested in like the esoteric nature of like what is the human soul and shit. And then other guys are going to get like autistically scientific about it.
Mm.
Uh,
You're not
you
actually dead
know.
until this amount of electricity leaves your brain, because
hmm
that's when brain function stops.
Yeah,
How do you
just a
know that? Because
whole.
I've watched it
Yeah.
700 times.
Have you seen my EKG wall? Yeah, like
Ooh.
how you want to go about that is up to you and how you build your fucked up little guy. The
Beautiful.
world's your oyster. Yes. Many also have a deep fascination with the afterlife, though the kind of interesting note on that is because so many of the Hecata study the afterlife and or go to the Shadowlands, they tend to not be interested in the afterlife in a woo-woo true faith religion kind of a way that's much more of a like academic or philosophical interest in the afterlife.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so like if you have somebody who's a Hecata and like a religious scholar
Hmm.
and they talk about the afterlife, it's going to be much more pragmatic. Pragmatic's going to come up a lot with these guys where it's very just, that's what it is.
Hmm.
So much tism coding in Vampire. It's
Hmm.
it's very funny. Also just fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like I know we talk about like, oh yeah, the Zamitzi are weird, or like the Nosferatu are weird, and I'm like, or the Tremere are weird. I'm like, no, no, guys, the Hecata are weird. It's the Hecata that are weird.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
People will be
many of the Hec
uncomfortable around Zamitzi because like they're like, I don't know if this guy's gonna like decide he wants to turn my arm into a violin.
yeah,
But Hakata, you're uncomfortable around because you're just like, I don't know why, he just gives me the fucking creeps.
yeah, it's one an interesting like signaling about like mage and how the entropy sphere works, and I I just like that for like world flavoring reasons where it's like, ah yeah, characters who fuck around with the dead and are in that kind of area just have an aura, and the aura is oh no,
Hmm.
which is fun. um but a lot of the kata will also maintain rituals, traditions, and cultural practices that are just gonna look fucking just like, what?
Mm.
Why do you do these things? What the fuck? Which doesn't help with the weird. There's also a lot of like social like contact like disconnections is the best way to explain it. Like they're just socially off.
Mm.
And this comes from one because a lot of the Hecata practice the Oblivion ceremonies and interacting with Oblivion actively degrades your humanity, so that just forces you to be disconnected and weird.
Mm-hmm.
Also, empathy and compassion are often viewed as being impediments to their work, so it's like something that's actively discouraged within the clan, which that
Hmm.
doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Also, abuse and taboo breaking is very normalized within the clan, and for some of them, even before they're embraced. So, a lot of people within the Hecata are just like really fucking traumatized way before you start adding vampire shit on top of that, which makes them fucking weird.
Hell yeah, let's
You know?
go.
Yeah, yeah, if you're just constantly being like, mother's watching, that kind of thing, it's like, you're,
You're like,
yeah,
your mom's been
you
dead
you
for
were,
like 80 years, dude.
yeah, yeah, I know, but we still have to appease her. And it's like, what does that mean? If your family is starting off Texas Chainsaw Massacre before you even add vampire powers, problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So, depending on how you want to write the character, I think there's room for like having interesting chronicles and stories about like generational trauma and abuse and having to process that kind of stuff. But that's also a very heavy theme, and you decide how you want to handle that at your table.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, business TM.
Goodness.
These fuckers are about business. Um, a lot of the Hecata that do well within their circles tend to be very cunning strategists, and they tend to focus more on long-term gains for the family as opposed to like self-grandeur or like quick profit turnaround things. So it contrasts the Ventrue in a really interesting way, where the Ventrue are very individualistic and they're like, I am the sovereign, I'm the one in control, I'm the leader, where the Hecata are much more they're gonna be playing 4D chess, and they might be the boss, but they're not doing it because I'm the boss, I am in charge. It's just I'm the one that's the most competent to manage things for the family in this instance, so I'm the one taking charge,
Mm.
which I can be I think is really interesting dynamic, and having to have those two groups of people deal with each other is going to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's very common for those within the Hecata to spend decades and centuries planning their schemes and pieces, and it's very, I think, in that idiom of like death can wait, or reaping what you sow, that kind of haha death joke, push up glasses up nose. They're like, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, no, I can wait. I can wait to get my plan to go, because like I am become death, and I'm gonna be here. You I don't know about. Meh. In reading a lot of the text for the different bloodlines, their tactics tend to lead more towards like wielding leverage as opposed to like doing a brute force thing. So unlike the La Sombra that are very, I am in control and I can do what I want because I have the force to make you do what I want.
Yeah. Try to stop me, please.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hecata are going to be more like, yeah, you could do this thing, but it would be a shame that X, Y, and Z would happen to thing you care about.
Right. They just start like being like, I was talking to name your touchstone the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, and it was really great. They served me a great little thing of ice cream, which is where they
Mm-hmm.
work or wherever. They
Yeah.
don't even have to
Yeah.
make the threat. They can just be like, they give great ice cream.
Yeah. It's like, like it'd be a real shame if something happened to that business.
Hmm. I've been thinking about actually expanding our endeavors into ice cream shops.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. And if they're making that kind of threat to you, that means that shit's already locked and loaded and might already be happening.
Right.
Um, and you're just like, fuck. Okay. Oh no. So they make great antagonists. Many
Hmm.
within the Hecata would prefer to be useful or have deals that are more mutually beneficial. From what I've read, these they'll typically want to set things up so that they have a win con that's more of a long game, and or they're trying to achieve a goal that maybe you in the deal didn't think about. So, like an example I had seen was uh Hecata and another character had made a business arrangement where they're like working together, but that was literally only being done so the Hecata could get access to be able to send a Wraith in to go get some information from someplace in the
Mm.
building that the other character didn't know existed at all.
Okay.
So like you could have a business deal with a Hecata character where it's like the terms are really good, everything's fair and balanced, nothing goes wrong, they fuck off, and you have no idea that you got.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's ah. I just reading through a lot of this, it's like I feel that the Tremere get a lot of smoke, but I'm like the Hecata are doing the same shit. They're just doing it like a cool designer Italian suit, so no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, they're not big fucking nerds, or at least they don't look like them.
A lot
I
of them don't
think
look like
it
fucking
might
nerds.
be the Tremere genociding an entire other vampire clan to come into existence might have
Here's
something
the
to do
thing.
with.
And they're big fakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's the
They're
thing.
not real
A lot of
vampires. So like
here's the thing, depending on what part of the Hecata you're talking about, they have the exact same problem.
Yeah.
that's the other problem. The Hecata was not the Hecata until like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, but it's like you
They're
could say
like
the same shit
9
about the Giovanni.
clans.
They're 9 clans in a trench coat.
Oh, and you can say fuck the Giovanni, yeah, for sure, Z's.
Oh yeah,
But like,
because I'm just
I
I'm
think
just
the
saying.
difference is the Giovanni. Well, hold on. Giovanni were a bloodline already. They weren't
Yes.
just
Yep.
random dudes, right? So what I'm saying is like Giovanni were already a bloodline that just subsumed their parent bloodline, which is fucked.
Hmm.
It's not fair. I mean, not necessarily fair. Anyway, um, where Tremere was like, "Hey, we're humans. We're gonna cheat and be little fakers. So let me eat you or
Yeah,
make magic with you." There's
I'm just saying
that's the difference.
somebody paid for the good PR team. That's all I'm saying. Somebody paid for the good PR team.
The same people buying the designer suits.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One may have suggested the other, actually.
Maybe. Who knows? Again, the 4D chess, man. It's
Hmm.
crazy. So also, a lot of the Hecata will view boons and social interactions as investments that should be raising all boats. In that kind of, you help me, I help you, it helps the family kind of a situation. So if you're gonna be doing interactions with Hecata characters and they're just like, oh yeah, dude, I'll help you out with this thing, they're going to expect you to like talk about that as a way to boost like their social caliber, or like they should be able to come back to you going like, hey, I helped you out, I've been good to you, you should be good to me.
They're doing you favors in expecting like when you're at Elysium next time, you can be like, "Oh yeah, so and so helped me with this deal and it turned out
Yeah.
great. Like check it out next time you need to buy, property in Chicago."
Yeah, it's I at least some things I had read, it's like I like that they are a lot more frank about the boon situation, where it's like a yeah, I'm helping you, you're helping me, but like we should actually, I'm investing in you. You should do the same for me. And if you don't, that can cause some
Issue.
static. Because it's
Right.
like, have I offended you? What if like it's like, yeah, you did like to the letter, but like there's more to the social interaction than just doing the letter of the agreement.
Right.
So it's like so depending on characters, that can cause some interesting little statics.
Hmm.
As you know. It's like, yeah, like we did this job, but like I heard you talking shit. Like, why?
Why? We did it
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah, it's like, do you not want me to help you? Like,
You signed the agreement. If you didn't like the terms, why'd you sign it?
yeah. It's again very funny where there's like in the V5 text, there's some of the text that they try to talk about the Hecata in ways where they're like, oh yeah, no, these guys don't do the mafia or the gang kind of thing, but then they're absolutely still doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, my God, okay. It feels like the ministry where they're like, we had a rebrand. And I'm like, did you? Did you really?
Look at our suits.
Okay. Look at the suits. We're dressed
They
up.
have
It's
three
fine.
pieces now.
Oh my God. Yeah, but and like quadrupling down on the business thing, a lot of characters within the Hecata were or continue to be merchants, bankers, and entrepreneurs. For some of them, this will be just like this is the family business they've been doing for generations, and they've just kind of kept doing it.
Mm.
For others, it's they're either really skilled with like accounting or they're really good at doing corporate stuff in boardroom, and that's part of the reason they got invited in. So, uh, Just imagine being like, yeah, no, I come from a family of businessmen. Oh yeah, no, we started with like being silk merchants for the Medicis. And it's like, what the fuck? And your family just been doing this, and they're like, yeah, we still work in textiles. And I'm like,
Huh.
okay, that's a neat. And they're like, yeah, by the way, here's all the zombies that do the loading and unloading of the ship. And it's like, what the fuck? Okay, hold on.
This is the weirdest flex. I'm going on a roller coaster.
Yeah, just like, where is this going? Speaking of where this is going, a lot of the Hecata will like niche themselves into work that others will find very off-putting, but it's something that's like vital to make society go. So a lot of them will be in the medical field in some way, funerary services, biohazard cleanups, butchery, black markets, hitmen, legal and financial practices, those kinds of things. So if you want to, you just need to find a sketchy guy or a guy that's not going to ask a lot of questions. There
I
you go.
can absolutely see a Hecata being a mortician.
Oh yeah.
I giggle at the idea of them being a funeral director because they have to
Okay.
stand next to the corpse and be like, I'm sorry for your loss, man. Yes, he was a good man. And try and comfort people
hmm
while they're like, oh yeah, I just like embalmed him. What they really want to talk about is what they did with his guts.
This is this is where the masking comes in.
Yeah.
Masking is a big theme for the Hecata, but we'll get into that more later.
Love it.
Oh no. You're just like, wow, they seem really pleasant. They take their face off and you just go, oh no. Oh, you're a little problem. But yeah, various factions of the Hecata will slot themselves into various like socioeconomic groups, and I find this really fascinating. So there's some of the bloodlines like the Giovanni and the Harbingers that may serve more like elites in society, where like the Nason and the Putinescos may serve like the lower classes. They're all doing the same kind of work, but they've kind of realized certain chunks of them work better with different groups of people, and they'll just kind of like slot themselves accordingly.
Hmm.
So it's a very on the outside it looks crazy, but when you look in on it, it's like a very well organized kind of business machine.
Hmm.
And you're just like, oh shit, oh no. This is way better thought out than we thought. Oh geez. Which has been kind of funny when there's been all the jokes like, oh yeah, the Hecata are just like 9 bloodlines in a trench coat. But then you realize like, yeah, but they're actually like organized and working together and functioning well. And they're like from top to bottom involved in all of society. And you just go, oh,
There's
this
a
could be a
reason
problem.
the can is like, no, you can do your thing. We'll just work with you.
Yeah, there's like you just stay on or you just stay over there. Just mind your business. We'll mind ours.
Love it.
It's wild. Many within the Kata will use their own living family members, reanimated corpses, and wraiths to do work. This will often be done without pay, let alone human treatment, with some notable exceptions. I'll get into those details more when we get into like the bloodlines, because all the different bloodlines kind of have slightly different philosophies on how they interact with the living and the dead. And if I got into that now, we would be here all night.
I do have to say, I think it's wild they work so well together, given that
Mhm.
they have such wildly different feelings about how they should be treating these spirits and zombies and people.
Yeah,
Like, it's wild.
yeah. Oh, it's great. We'll also want to give the Will note real quick before I get into why they actually work together. Uh, Wraiths and other macabre spies will give the Hecata an edge in terms of intelligence gathering, which is something that they absolutely weaponize on how they do their business. And this can involve doing insider trading, blackmail, stealing trade secrets. They'll like dig up a guy to get passcodes for bank accounts to drain them and put that into their assets. Um, Idea I had, which I think is horrifying, is shoving wraiths into computers for crypto mining.
Mm.
Because there's the whole like, well, there's the ghost in the machine. It's like, yeah, but what if we actually put a ghost in the machine?
Hmm.
And we used it to make money.
Let's go. You're a money printing ghost now. Get in there.
What do? You mine Bitcoin. Oh man.
I solve equations.
I solve equations.
You'd just be forced to do math for eternity. That's what that would be.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Just quadratics forever. Ugh. I want to get upgraded to the 4090. There's more room in there. Quiet you.
Yeah, just throw me into oblivion. It's fine. I'd be there. I'm good.
John, but the variables,
Yeah,
they need
you can
solved.
just throw me into oblivion. Whatever. The
Dissolve to
Tempest.
oblivion.
Just toss me right to the Tempest before you make me do math for eternity.
No,
But there's
I
so
hate
many
that for
different
you.
equations.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so it's one of those like, hey, if I highly encourage if you're going to be a Hecata character, especially if you're going to go more into like the finance side of the clan, get creative on how you can use ghosts to make money.
Love it.
When in doubt, ghost it.
Haunted house tours.
Hell
Can you
yeah.
get a ghost to just like dump all the money out of an ATM machine?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's possible. I feel
The-
like that would be way easier to do with like a mage sphere, but I suppose you could get a ghost to interact with ATMs.
Yeah, I'd be
Why
much more
not?
worried about like the other issues around that, like the camera recording you do this, especially because of the Second Inquisition paying attention to shit
Mm,
like that.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. It's like have an angry Hecata that's like, man, I used to hit ATM machines all the time, but I can't do that no more. Fuck.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be much better with like forces and correspondence.
Yeah, but a Hecata member can't have those things. So,
No.
I'm just trying to think
I
of how to get
mean,
creative with ghosts.
if you got somebody in the family that's a mage,
Now, what you
Mm.
could do is you could use the ghost to possess someone and empty their bank account.
yes. Oh
That
yes.
that that that's
That's a horse of a different color.
yeah, much less likely to get caught too.
Yeah.
Like,
Just wake
where'd
up
all
in an
Tim's money
alleyway.
go? Oh, Tim took it. Okay, well,
Yeah, Tim
problem
took it out.
solved, I guess.
Look, Tim is a grown adult. We legally can't stop him from withdrawing all the money from his bank account and then giving it to some strange person in a designer suit from a limo.
Maybe he bought something expensive.
Maybe. Brings PayPeg to a whole new term of definition, and I'm terrified. Uh which yeah, brings up the other thing I'm terrified of, family, which I did use the Italian spaghetti finger pinch emoji in the script.
Family.
Just every time we say it, just imagine little pinchy fingers. Um yeah, so that's the way the clan functions. The Hecata are kind of a clan, sect, and cult all at the same time.
Okay.
And yeah, and I think you can have several types of very interesting chronicles exploring like just that theme alone. But that's me getting ahead of myself. So that's how they're able to be the only like independent quote unquote clan left, is they're basically made up of all these clans as well as bloodlines that don't really have a real antediluvian, which I think also adds to their strangeness in terms of vampire society, because there's going to be vampires that are so in that structure of our clan exists because we have an antediluvian and this is like our creation mythos, and there's people within the Hecata who don't have that, or they don't believe that that makes them any more or less of a vampire than anybody else, and then having to watch people square that circle is kind of interesting and might make other vampires uncomfy, because it's like, well, if those guys are just as powerful as I am and they don't have all that stuff, what does that mean for me?
Mm-hmm.
And just the brain, oh no. um the problem with that though, this also leaves the Hecata without like allies to seek out, and also isolates them from everybody. So that's kind of why it's like for some Hecata characters it might narratively be hard for them to like interact with things in Chronicles, and it kind of will end up being a similar problem like with the Tremere, where it's like their clan politics is so insular. If you're trying to bring that to a table, it might require some finagling. So I just wanted to give that heads up, because it's like you could very easily have an Oops All Hakata game and never deal with another non-Hakata vampire the entire time, depending on how you want to run that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thought with the family stuff is the family comes before outsiders. It also becomes before the self. So a lot of the cultures within the Hecata have bloodlines that their cultural background is very hierarchical, and a lot of them are very patriarchal. So it's like the dad or grandpa or great granddaddy or whoever's like in charge of the family unit, and everything kind of delineates from that. So, so that has its own ups and downs on how well that works or not. It seems to work well for a lot of them. Eh. Um, but a lot of that also leads to where there's like family ties that will exist prior to embrace that may change after embrace. Uh, or these ties have been there just like the whole time, and that's how this like unit of the Hecata works. So it that fluctuates a lot depending on which branch you're dealing with. Some of them are very just like, yeah, well, we have the patriarch or the matriarch who's in charge of everything and everything falls to them, and and then they have other groups that will be more like accolade base where they're like, oh, this person's a scholar, so we give them a lot of respect and then kind of go down from there. Again, I'm gonna have to split that into the bloodlines episodes because there's so much.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't want to be here all day with that. But the big thing that is a takeaway is like while many within the Hakata will have their own schemes and plans, each member of the clan is expected to serve some function for the body politic of the family. So it's like your no Hakata member is like truly independent of the Hakata because they're expected to serve some sort of something to help. Like you put your 2 cents in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not doing that, that can lead to problem.
I'm
How
sure
much of a
many
problem
kinds
that
of
is?
problem too.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and then how much of a problem that is or isn't. That's kind of depend on what bloodline you're from and like what your character is, and it can get convoluted very quickly. But the other thing is while the family acts as like a unit, it's also very factional. So it very much mirrors a lot of issues that you see in mortal families where there's various bloodlines within the clan that have various issues and alliances between each other. I don't have a lot of experience with this because like my family's all fucked up and small and mostly dead. So I don't have a lot of personal experience with this, but I've seen a lot of other folks where they're like they have family obligations or functions they have to go to that they don't want to go to, but they have to due to like pressures and guilts and things like that. And that's
Mhm.
the same. It doesn't end even in death. And
Family.
family, pinchy fingers. And while each of the factions will have their own perspectives and beliefs on things and they can act independently, a lot of them will still trade goods and secrets and services amongst each other. And if you tell something to one member of the Hakata, just expect they're all gonna fucking know.
Mhm.
So it's like, because the familial ties, I wouldn't expect anything I have worked with or done with anybody in the Hakata not to be not known or at least accessible information.
Right.
So if you're dealing with one, you kind of just need to be prepared for, I'm going to deal with all of these fuckers. Okay.
You're
Huzzah.
so in that situation where you're doing like a deal, this
Mhm.
Hecata may have approached you because he might be like, I'm looking into getting into X business, and he's talking to his
Mhm.
cousin here, and his cousin's like, well, actually, I know this guy, and I know this little
Mhm.
bit of thing about him. Why don't you take
Mhm.
that to him and see how he feels about it? And then you just have this random Hecata showing up because you met this one other Hecata 12 years
Mhm.
ago who's
Yeah.
being like, hey, I'd like to buy your business.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
Great.
And there's probably a lot of vampires now that are like kind of annoyed because they like did business with one guy in one bloodline and now they're all talking to each other and they're now all sharing information with each other and it's like, bro,
Hmm.
what the fuck? It's like it's like, buddy, I worked with the Somdi specifically for a reason and now they're going by a different name. What the fuck? Just like, why is this motherfucker showing up on my doorstep? I talked to this other asshole like 30 years ago.
That was
So
done.
it's
I finished that business.
we solved the contract. Hmm. He's like, yeah, well, fucking Jean Paul like knew a guy, and then she's like, what do you mean he knew a guy? It's yeah, it's been a hoot to read the different characters within the Hecata like having to now interact with each other because they're being forced into integrated family situations.
Hmm.
Yeah, again, it makes me really just want to run more Oops All Hecata.
It does sound kind of fun.
It's super fun. Um, but also just like, oh, the betrayals. Because
The
there's also
betrayals.
backstabbing because family.
The hardest
Is
part,
any family
I'll say the hardest part with Oops All Hakata is there's just so many of them now. You
Yeah.
still there's just as many. There are almost as many Hecata as there are just regular clans. I looked, because I was
Yep.
joking. There's 9 bloodlines in a trench coat. It's actually 11. They're 2
Yeah,
away
it's
from having as many types of Hecata as there are general vampires, quote unquote. If you believe the 13 bloodlines thing, which
yeah.
we very much have proven so far isn't true anyway. But
If you buy the story. Yeah, it's all delightfully very messy and fun, but it's also just very like um I guess the kind of content warning that I would give is some of the interactions within the Hakata because of the family dynamics are unironically gonna maybe hit very close to home for certain folks, so you might need to do like little calibration check-ins. Because, it's one of those people are like, oh, yeah, no, I'm playing this goofy little mafioso guy in a little pinstripe suit. Da, da, da. But because of like narrative choices or things that you've decided to do with the game, you could end up accidentally having somebody go, okay, this is very much mirroring some toxic bullshit I've had to like grow up in, and now the game is not fun for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're
So,
here, your
watch out for
family,
that.
womp womp. Yeah, sad spaghetti noises. I I'm sorry.
Is that just
I've dunked
overcooked spaghetti? Like,
bro,
is
overcooked
that the
pasta
sad
is the
spaghetti
fucking worst.
noise?
Yeah.
Like you
Just
forgot it on the stove and you've come back and the whole thing is just bubbling because it's melted itself?
oh, I was just thinking spaghetti fell off plate onto floor. Just that wet
Oh,
plap noise. Just bleh.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm dunking on the Giovanni as much as I am. One, they make up a very sizable portion of the Hecata, and two, every time I'm like, surely they're not going to do the Italian mobster stereotype. They surely aren't going to do it. I turn the page and it becomes a scene from The Godfather where like kill the guy, take the cannoli, and you're like, why? Why? Why is it always like this? Re. And the answer is it was trendy in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the drip stuff for the clan, I think, is also work. You could have a lot of fun
Hmm.
outside of the obvious mob core, like mafia wife aesthetics, which I can't believe that became a fucking trend last year for a while.
I mean, it's been
Oh,
a trend on and off for a while, but
Yeah, it just came back with a vengeance in the middle of last year for some fucking reason. I don't know. But you can also play
fashion.
around with fashion. But yeah, you can also play around with like funerary dress, but not just like, mortician stuff. If you want to, that's fantastic. I used to play D&D with a group where one of the players, his day job was a mortician. So half the time he would come to the table from directly from work, so he was like dressed fucking nice.
Hmm.
Little pocket watch and everything, and I'm just like, bro, you can't be out dripping us at the fucking D&D table like every other week. This is bullshit. This is nuts. And just the difference between him and his workwear and then him in streetwear was just very funny because
Yeah,
he was
I'm
just a little
sure.
stoner bro.
Hmm.
So
Love
his
it.
regular wear was like tie fisherman pants and like a Grateful Dead tie-dye shirt.
Of course.
Which if you want to borrow that for a character, please do. It's funny. Um but there's also just, all of the world's cultures with all the different like funeral and death rites accoutrement and outfits that I think would be fun to be like, hey, if your character is from whatever background they're from, go do some research on like what people associate with like death and funeral stuff and just whack that into your character. It's a fun thing to do.
Hmm.
I also, because a lot of them are tied into like medical stuff, so having scrubs and late and like lab coats and that kind of wear is also completely valid. Um, there's also the old money TM attire because a lot of people in Nakata come from money.
Like you were
Like,
saying, yeah, we started as silk traders
mm-hmm. Yeah, just
and
like
just
landed
haven't stopped.
gentry money. Yeah, I've also gone on to way too many deep dives about the fashion of the ultra wealthy and how like it differentiates from like different classes and hierarchies amongst wealthy people, and watching that shit is funny to me because
Mm.
like imagine the family meeting where you have the new money Hecata guy showing up in like Louis Vuitton, like printwear and all of
Hmm.
that kind of shit. And then you have the old money guys that are like they look like they're dressed casual, but like their sweater is like $1,500.
Right.
And you're just like,
It's hand spun merino wool. Yeah.
yeah, that kind of shit. And they're having to share the table with the dickhead in the Adidas tracksuit with the labubu.
I
But they're
love
all
it.
vampires, so it doesn't really mean anything, but it means everything.
Yes.
And you're just like, this motherfucker.
Why won't he
Yeah.
take these meetings seriously? He's like, this is my best tracksuit. Don't say I'm not taking this seriously.
Like exactly. Exactly.
He's
And
so right
also
though.
he is so right though. Hunter, that's because you wear tracksuits. Like
Yeah,
I'm just calling you out specifically.
I only have like 3 or 4.
That is
Uh-huh.
more than the
Uh-huh.
average person, my friend.
And your point.
Just pointing it out, that's all. Just making sure we
It's
Okay.
all have the data, you know.
All right, whatever. Listen.
Fantastic. Other fun thing you can do for character design, because a lot of the Hecata have money. I super recommend looking up designer wear, but like from designers specifically, like from their country of origin or like cultural background.
Mm.
Okay.
Cause oh my god, if you want to have fun, I ended up scrolling through a bunch of videos of runways, because apparently there's a big upswelling of like West African designers getting a lot of attention in the West now, and dear God, some of those outfits are fucking gorgeous.
I
Hell
bet.
yeah.
Just
Honestly.
it's honestly though, I'm just like yes, yes, please, please, just this is so cunty. I'm here for this. Uh, Yeah, because it's like, particularly for men or mask dressed characters, I feel like a lot of people get stuck in the he's in a nice suit, but they don't have a lot of like flourish or anything with it. And I'm like, I feel like Hakata's got a lot of room for you to like have fun with it. And I'm actively
Mm-hmm.
trying to encourage it because goddamn, I'm here. I'm okay with people wanting to roleplay a power fantasy with vampire. That's fine. But I'm like, dude, if you're gonna roleplay the power fantasy, like, fucking go for it. Be a little
Yeah.
cuntier. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like, you're being a vampire. Be a little cunty. Um,
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it, right?
yeah. Um,
I
there's
was playing a
also
character
yeah.
who had a lot of resources for a while, and
Mhm.
he had this wasn't a kata, but as an example, he had wore suits all the time, had lots of
Mhm.
resources, did that whole thing. But when I Googled like pictures of suits that he would wear, I would put in like
Mhm.
high fashion three-piece suit or like $10,000 three-piece suit. And I would
Mhm.
find these things that are just very classy, but like, it's a spun fabric with like a velvet overlay that's like filigree all over it or something
Mhm.
like that. Go
Yeah.
crazy with it. Have fun.
Yeah. Like have little cufflinks and button details that are like little skulls
Mm-hmm.
or like little family crests. Like you go nuts. Uh Speaking of growing nuts, masks. Masks are a big thing within the Hecata, like literally physically masks. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole thing with like the harbingers having that's kind of how they denote like their hierarchical standing amongst each other's like different types of Venetian masks. I'm gonna say go for it. Go nuts. There's if you have a character that's from Mexico, I'm like, yeah, give him a Dia de Muertos mask. Just go for it. If you have a character that's with the Samdi, the Nation, lean into voodoo hoodoo. There's like also a lot of culture with like the Benin mask. Like if you look at those carvings, they're fucking gorgeous. Like go
Yeah.
look at that shit. Indonesia has a whole culture of like funerary masks. If you're going to be in the New Orleans area, obviously there's Mardi Gras. Go do some research. Oh no, we lost John. Going through the rest of the drip stuff, a lot of trio motifs because uh, dying, death, rebirth is a big thing for the Hecata. So if you just do a lot of threes,
I like it.
however you want to do that. Yeah. Death motifs, obviously skulls, bones, memento mori, flowers, owls, ravens, death's head moths. Go nuts. There's like a whole language of grave marker iconography that you can like pull from tons of stuff. Key motifs because the name Hecata does reference the goddess Hecate. So if you want to pull stuff from that and go Percy Jackson Hades 2 with it, go nuts.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah. Also goth grunge crust, wildly unkempt characters also work because it's like, well, you're detached from society, so you just kind of stop giving a fuck. That is also valid. Also coin motifs is a big thing, and heirlooms. Heirlooms seem to be a big thing with a lot of the characters for Hecata that I had read, where it's like, oh yeah, I have this brooch that was from like my great great grandmother that's been passed down.
Mm,
Also leaning into the family things.
yeah,
So give character like, I don't know, give the character a sword, a pocket watch.
a desk. That'd actually be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be kind of cool.
This is the
Yeah,
desk
there's
that my great 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 grandfather founded this family at,
mm-hmm.
and
Do
now
you
you
realize how
sit
many
in
of us
front
have
of
been
it.
the weight of generations just on your shoulders, literally because they're staring at you, because they're right there. Just I can't escape. So these are the necromancers, the family. They're also called stiffs, devil kindred, the unclean, Lazarines, the merchant lords. This is the clan of death. Ooh.
I like Lazarines. This just
Yeah.
has a good ring to it.
It's like it sounds cool and metal as fuck.
Hmm.
I also just like merchant lords. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's metal. That's going in. I'm sorry, guys. Like that's cool. It's like, oh, you guys thought the Venture were the business clan? Haha, funny.
Watch this. I also like
Exactly.
stiffs.
Yeah,
Like all the other dead people are like, no, they're dead.
like they're
Look
truly
at him.
well. Some of them look more corpse-like than others. So
Hmm.
yeah,
When you died, you nearly stayed dead and you're terrified. But I bet you're turned on by the thrill of it too. How exciting. To feel death, evade it. It's like looping a belt around your neck, jerking off while hanging in a wardrobe. And God, you want that feeling again. It's enticing, isn't it? To know now you can commune with death like it's your brother, your aunt, or your father. Cult of the Blood Gods, page 199.
I met the one called the Capuchin. He's the one who told me what you'd done to my sire, and the one who told us where to find you. He dredged up our original name and gave it back to us. Hecata. Now that I think about it, Uncle Augie did bring about his endless night in a way. It's us. We are of the Hecata now. We are the endless night. Monica Giovanni, Cult of the Blood Gods, page 130.
Put aside your historic enmity for the Venetians, pocket your distrust for the Samdi, and recognize that death, no matter the mask it wears, is still death. We are death. We always have been, and we always will be. Prince Roger de Camden, Cult of the Blood Gods, page 200. I cannot say the night or even the year it happened exactly. There was no moment of transition. We were the proverbial frog in the pan, the water heating so gradually that it does not know it's cooking until it is already cooked. They ceded their power so slowly, they coaxed our reliance on them so subtly. There is no violent coup. There is no public proclamation. One night, we all looked up, and we all saw we were Hecata. Rinaldo Albizzi, Camarilla representative for the Florentine Council. Trails of Ash and Bone, page 133.
Okay, thank you,
I gave
people, for quotes.
yes, yay.
Your
We
voice
will
is
have
beautiful.
more dramatic readings as things go on
Nope,
in the
Mike
next couple
didn't pick that
episodes.
up.
Oh no.
Did it?
Huh?
Mm.
Okay, I don't think the mic picked that up.
No,
then.
we're good. I think we're good.
You were Sarah was making a genuine thank you, and I just let out a very gross belch. But I think I was saved by the noise reduction, so we're good.
So you just outed yourself for no reason.
I mean, I gotta edit this section anyway, so I'll probably still be paying attention by this point. I can just edit that out too.
Fair. All right. So in clan behaviors, basically I'm going to be covering what is general for the Hecata as a whole, and then if there's any deviations from this with the bloodlines, I'll just tell you there. Much like Magic the Gathering, you read the card and do what's on the card.
Bet.
That was the only way I could separate this in a way that made any fucking sense. So, Merry Crisis. Uh, so tradition's a really big thing with the Hecata overall. A lot of them have a very deep sense of reverence for cultural customs, particularly around business, family, and death. Shocking no one. Each faction will have their own perspectives on what traditions carry weight depending on age, gender, ethnic and cultural backgrounds, various other things. So I can't tell you these are the traditions you need to pay attention to, because it will change.
Yeah.
There's
So
so many
just-
different ones.
There's so many, and I'm just like, if you're going to be a smart player and you're like, hey, I'm going to go have a meeting with the Hecata, I want to be in their good graces, I want things to go well, I'm going to highly recommend do some research before you go into that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Just find out a little something, because it might be one of those like, hey, you think you're being respectful by bringing a bottle of wine as like a housewarming thing, even though you guys don't drink wine. It's just a thing that people would do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go into a room where that guy's going to find that wicked disrespectful.
Right.
It's like, are you mocking me in my undeath state? And you're just like, fuck, no.
No, it's red wine. It looks like blood. I thought it was pretty.
I spent a lot of money on this. I thought you could use it maybe for a ritual. I was trying to show a token of gratitude. Fuck. Yep. Traditions also are often wielded by the older Hecata to guilt and like bully the younger Hecata basically to be in check.
Nice.
We've been having family Christmas at our house for 30 years, and you say you want to host Christmas at your house? You're taking that away from your grandmother?
Literally, yes. Literally,
Except
yes.
we've been hosting Christmas at our house for 300 years.
We've always done it in Venice. It's always been at the mausoleum. You know this.
And you say you want to have it at your funeral home? That's what you're asking here. Oof.
Yeah, just oofs. Oofs all around, guys. Many outside of the Hecata will view these practices as outdated, superstitious, weird, or even threatening. And it doesn't help with the high strangeness of the vibes from the Hecata, where they're just like, hey, I have to go do this thing, and everybody's like, why? It's just like, look, man.
It's hard to explain. I'll be back in a week.
It's like,
It's family
look,
Christmas, okay?
It's family Christmas. Like, look, if I don't go to family Christmas with at least like 3 mortals, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
I won't hear the end of it. Decades, probably.
And it's like, oh, I can't believe you brought this mortal. He's so skinny.
Did
Do you not care
feed
about
him?
this family? He's so malnourished. It's like, are people not doing well in the Providence that you run? Are you mismanaging people around you?
Oh no.
Imagine body shaming the mortals you're all like cannibalizing at the family dinner.
Rough.
You couldn't find someone with a little more meat on their bones.
Mm. So I heard you had a girlfriend. Just,
They're forcing you to eat someone to death, so you're a hunger zero. I know you're still hungry. Just keep eating. Here, have another one.
Right? Just grandma worked so hard on this. You don't want to upset her. She raised this free range human
Oh no.
in the old ways.
Oh god.
Fucking shoved a funnel in them like a goose for foie gras. Like, this can get dark quickly. Hi guys, welcome to World of
Yay.
Darkness.
It's almost like it's read in the title.
It's like what's on the tin is inside the tin. Imagine.
No.
So, the cycles of death, decay, and rebirth are very common themes across all the faction lines within the Hecata. This will give them a kind of edge compared to other clans where the Hecata are more open to learning new customs and technology, while also being open to maintaining lessons from like their elders, which I think is really interesting. So and again, this also depends on like which faction in the bloodline and up to each individual character within the Kata, but the Kata tend to be a lot more flexible than other vampires. Where they're just like, well, business has shifted to new thing. I obviously need to learn the new thing. There will be olds that will reach out to the younger Hecata to be like, teach me how to use the devil brick.
Devil brick.
And just holds up a little Nokia phone. Yes, the devil brick. And then you have younger Hecata that are now reaching out to their elders that are now coming out of the woodwork, and they're just like, so how do I control the big ghosts? Or,
The big
hey, so how
ghosts.
did you guys make the Camarilla actually listen to you? Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that gives the Hecata a much more interesting edge compared to some other clans where you have some that will like some of them will niche themselves into being up on the new tech and some will be very niched into like old traditions and maintaining the old ways, but those two will still work together,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
which can be a horrifying combination depending on how it's worked out in your story. So have fun with that. But also this cycle of death, decay, and rebirth is something that the younger Hecata will use to justify their overthrowing of their elders.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're just like, hey, us as the clan of death, our right is renewal, and sorry, old man, you've been fucking up for too long. Just boom.
In the ground.
Yeah.
Or do they? I'm sure that it's probably dependent on the bloodline, the family, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. But are they the type that's like, sorry, old man, you've been fucking up for too long. Big ol' snack time. Or is it
Yes.
more, we're going to stake you and just go ahead and get rid of you
It
that way?
depends.
Okay.
It's like, oh, we're gonna do the ultimate final death. No, I'm not gonna Diablerize you. I am going to do a ritual though that's gonna make sure that you don't become a wraith when you die.
Sorry.
I need to make sure you're in the ground.
That. Okay.
Yeah. So so you have the dynamic of the olds leaning on tradition and like familial guilt to keep the youngers in line, and then the youngers are like, hey, but we also have this tradition of rebirth, and y'all been fucking around too much, so
Sorry.
sorry about you. The future's now, old man. Gatherings are also a big thing with the Hecata, but specifically in the font of familial like feasts and reunions, pretty much top to bottom, that's how they organize doing meetings.
It's not a, we're going
So,
to come over and we're going to have a big boardroom meeting. It's a,
mhm.
okay, we're going to come over and we're going to have a big family dinner. And that
Yes.
family dinner is a boardroom meeting.
Yeah, we're having a family dinner where the patriarchs or the matriarchs of the family are gonna like make their announcements on what's happening, and then during the feast, people can like talk and do politicking and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they all do this. Like that's how the Hecata formed, was a big family reunion.
That is true.
Yes. So if you have characters that get invited to a family dinner, you fucking go.
Now, is it like getting invited to the cookout where if you're not a Hecata and someone's like, hey, my uncle said you should come to the family dinner this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
you're still like, you fucking go.
I would go.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
I would go. I would ask a lot of P's and Q's, and I would also ask, I'm like, okay, am I expected to bring a dish or am I just on condiment duty?
Right. Okay. Not only is this an honor to be like invited, but also I don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah, it's also akin to like a lot of family gatherings where some meetings you're obligated to go to while others you're not. But hopefully, unlike your mortal family, certain meetings are just, we're just gonna kill everyone here because they're fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not gonna know until you're there, and then you go, ah, shit.
Right.
So, a lot of the in-clan politics on the family dinners is based on like who's getting invited to whose dinner at what time and like what was discussed, and
Gotcha.
that could be its own layer of like catty vampire politics,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if that's something you care about. Those who get embraced with a Hecata, they are very particularly selective about who gets embraced into the Hecata. If you have a character that's like, I was randomly embraced, I'm like, you're gonna have a rough time, buddy.
Mm.
You were the child out of wedlock.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be a rough time. Unless you're in Asterix, you're in certain bloodlines where they don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
Then your bloodline will be chill with you, but then everybody else is gonna be like,
why are you here?
Why are you here?
You don't even go here.
You don't even go here. Most of the embraces are done through a very methodical selection/grooming process that is decided by clan elders. Mostly based on what skills or assets that particular embrace is gonna benefit the clan with.
Mm.
So you have a lot of Hecata that will like embrace from their own familial bloodlines, but they're not going to embrace everyone from the bloodline. They might even skip a generation or two.
Right.
Just because, like, no one did anything that they thought was worth it at the time. So they're just like, eh.
We'll let these ones die off.
Yeah. Bringing a whole new level to breeding kink. And you're just like, please,
Ugh.
please no. Please no. There's, like, even canonically within V5, a part of Hecata politicking outside of their clan is striking deals with other vampires to be like, hey, I think it'd be mutually beneficial for us if a strain of your bloodline is being embraced into the Hecata. So that could be a whole plot point in Chronicle right there, is you have a character who is not Hecata, but a Hecata comes over and is like, hey, to like cement the political alliance between your group and my group, you should have a member of your bloodline marry into my mortal family, and anybody who is an offspring from that union is eligible for being embraced into the Hecata.
Interesting.
So, very medieval politics.
Yeah.
In some regards, and I don't know if you want to deal with the moral implications of that nonsense, but you know, that is canonically on the table for some NPCs in 5th edition currently, and I'm like, oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. Ew.
Ew indeed. What else do I have notes-wise? Others who have been proven with their loyalties and their worth to the clan can be embraced in, so you don't have to be of a familial bloodline. It's just that's usually where they will start and then kind of go out from there. So you could have games where somebody in the Hecata is like, hey, I'm really precious about my mortal blood family line, so I don't embrace from that. I just keep them safe. But I run this whole business over here. We'll decide if it's legitimate or not, but I embrace guys out of that have proven their dedication and loyalty and skill to me. That's also completely valid. So if you want to have those kind of themes, but you don't want to deal with the ick of the family or the incest stuff, I think that's a valid way to handle it. Pragmatism, morbidity, and gallows humor tend to be preferred qualities amongst the Hecata. I would say those who have really high social skills like etiquette and insight, along with high emotional intelligence, would do well because of, you know, the scheming and plotting. So I think Hecata is a good choice if you want to have a character that is not a physical combat guy, but who still could fuck shit up. I think that's a good way to go, because not every altercation has to be like, I did a stab. Some of the altercations are like, yeah, over the course of the conversation with this person, they revealed to me that where their touchstone is, how much they care about this person, and they accidentally split or, you know, let slip some of the fuck ups their coterie has been doing. Okay, interesting. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take those nuggets of information and use that and fuck their shit. So, you know, I don't know.
I like it.
I like it. There's fun ways to use vampire powers outside of the what if I'm fast as fuck, boy? And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I do
what
like
if
being fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah, but what if I had a negotiation with a character and then I was able to use my ghost to follow up afterwards and get all the tea?
Ooh, you could use a ghost like a lie detector.
Just the wraith standing behind you, just quietly being like, what he's saying is a load of barnacles.
I don't know why the ghost is also Squidward, but
look, I don't know why I went that route outside of the meme.
okay.
Could be a
I
younger
just
Wraith
don't
who
like the
grew up on
implication that
SpongeBob.
he's dead.
Yeah. No, the Wraith is dead, obviously. I'm just saying, like, could
No, I
be a
mean
younger
Squidward.
Wraith. Oh, Squidward. Yeah, Squidward could be dead too. I don't know.
Oh, I don't like that implication. That's mean.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay, so the disciplines for the Hecata. This also gets fucky. So, because of the way the bloodlines are and the lore sheets for the bloodlines, you can kind of custom build your Hecata to do what you want it to, depending on what track you want to go with. So it's kind of similar to the Caitiff in that way. Comma, asterisks, it's again kind of like Magic the Gathering. Just read the bloodline if you want to follow what that change up on the discipline spread is, run it past your storyteller. Otherwise, the base set of disciplines for them is Auspex, Fortitude, and Oblivion.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I just looked it up. Hunter, I have very sad news for you. The average lifespan of a squid is 1 to 3 years, and SpongeBob has been on the air for a lot longer than that. So I'm gonna guess this is like a Lassie kind of situation
Oh.
where they've died and replaced him a few times.
I need
I
a
just wanted to let
moment.
you know.
No.
I'll be back. I gotta.
Hunter's got to go process his information. Oh shit, he literally left. No. I thought it was the bit. I thought it was a bit. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're good? You holding strong?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Okay, cool. I have some notes about Oblivion and Oblivion ceremonies more specifically, because this goes for all of the Hecata, and I don't want to have to go over these rules for the next 3 episodes over and over and over again. So here it is. So Oblivion functions a lot like Blood Sorcery in that there's the main abilities, and then they can be layered with ceremonies. I would say kind of like, you know how we have the amalgams with like demontation, where in the book technically anybody can learn demontation, but I'm like, I recommend as a storyteller keep that as a Malkavian exclusive thing unless a player has a reason to have learned that for plot reasons. Kind of the same thing with ceremonies, but also comma asterisks. The La Sombra also have Abyss Mysticism, which would have its own ceremonies. So basically my rule of thumb would be I would maybe limit what ceremonies a La Sombra player has opposed to a Hecata character, unless the La Sombra has a reason, just to kind of keep them a little bit different. But basically their build strategies kind of should be, because the La Sombra really lean into the power of Oblivion, they should probably be spending more points on boosting their Oblivion score to get higher so they can get the higher ranking Oblivion powers. Where the Hecata, because they have all the rituals, maybe aren't going to go as high, but they'll go wide. So hopefully that helps folks if you want to flavor it that way, but like it's your character, build it how you want. Yeah, this would maybe be something, at least for a storyteller, if you're building NPCs, something to keep in mind if you want to like really sell the flavor of a Hecata versus a La Sombra when it comes to Oblivion powers. So all that to say, some notes about Oblivion. Oblivion abilities are weakened in bright light, so this can be sunlight, rooms with little to no shadows, etc. Oblivion abilities are not weakened by infrared or ultraviolet light.
It has to be visible light.
Visible light within a certain spectrum.
Right.
Yes. Which I find very funny.
It's kind of neat, actually.
Like, it's neat. There's a lot of lore implications on this, but like I don't have time for that right now because this episode's already going to be long as fuck. We might have to have an Oblivion follow-up episode where I can like hash out some more of that stuff, because lore-wise, it really makes sense why Oblivion got changed the way it did for 5th edition. I just feel like it wasn't explained well to a general audience, so it looks really fucking arbitrary. It's kind of the thing. Anywho, bright lights can result in 1 aggravated damage per round when a spirit or a projection is hit with the bright light. So if somebody's like, I'm gonna wield tentacles or bring up a ghost into this fight, and it's like on stage with the stage lights, those tentacles and ghosts are not going to last long, but okay. I'm not saying you can't do it, but that fucker going to have a timer.
Right.
Sunlight and fire can harm Oblivion spirits and projections as though they have the equivalent of blood potency 1. And the quote from the core book on that on page 220 is, sunlight burns the undead, incinerating the unholy blood and flesh under the eyes of heaven. A vampire exposed to direct sunlight suffers aggravated health damage at the rate of their bane severity in points per turn.
Right.
Not per round, per turn, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
So blood potency 1, that gives you a bane severity of 2, which means that'll be 2 ag per turn.
Per turn.
Yeah. Which that sucks. Blessed artifacts or true faith can harm Oblivion spirits and projections. The strength of that is kind of dependent on the storyteller and or whatever hunter gear bullshit you have. So, yeah. Rolling a critical success or a failure on a rouse check while wielding Oblivion results in a stain on your humanity tracker. This roll can be re-rolled if a character has the ability to do so. So if you have like a higher humanity or some other ability that lets you re-roll that shit to not get the stain, you can do that. I wanted to share this because of the wording on this was weird for me, and if other people want to send us messages or discuss it in the community Discord, I'm okay with that. I just thought the wording was wonk because I think that reads meaning if a character is going to do a rouse check for a blood surge to use Oblivion, I think that might have to count towards getting a humanity stain because it's a rouse check to wield Oblivion. So that might need to be a discussion at the table on how much hard mode you want Oblivion to be.
Yeah.
So, because it's like, well, I'm doing a rouse check to wield Oblivion. It's not the rouse check that's activating it, but I'm using it in conjunction with, because the dice from that blood surge would go into the pool to roll Oblivion. So I'm like,
Right.
I think mechanically that's how that would have to work.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be how much of a pain in the ass do you want Oblivion to be? And for those who do not remember, the null resonance is for Oblivion, so that's no resonance whatsoever, and that usually comes from people that are like emotionally dead on the inside or sociopaths.
Yay.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I really hope you enjoy eating off of retail workers during the holiday season. I'm sorry, I just every time I've worked retail in the holiday season, I'm just like, I am dead inside. I don't know about y'all, but here I am.
I don't know. I've done it. I have some pretty intense emotions, but I don't think hollow is one of them.
It's mostly
rage, disdain.
So you're gonna be very squarely in like the caloric resonance during the holiday season. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So, baseline rules for the ceremonies. You can find these in the player's guide on pages 91 to 92. So much like Magic the Gathering cards and how the rituals work for blood sorcery. Read the ceremony to understand what it does. If you have any like material components, any of that kind of shit. Because some of those rules will force the ritual to deviate from these baseline rules. If the ceremony doesn't say to do it different, this is how you do it. So ceremonies can only affect the caster unless stated otherwise. The casting time for a ceremony is 5 minutes per level of the ceremony.
Okay, so all the ceremonies take the same amount of time based on level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unless the ceremony says it takes more or less time. Because like even with like blood sorcery rituals, there's some where it's like the base rule is 10 minutes per level, except in these situations where it's like you have to do the spell for an hour or whatever the fuck. The cast roll will be Resolve plus Oblivion versus the difficulty. The difficulty is the ceremony level plus 1, exactly like a ritual. New ceremonies cost 3 XP per level. Unlike some of the blood sorcery rituals, Oblivion ceremonies will have prerequisite Oblivion powers. There's a chart for this on page 92. So depending on what you want to build your fucky little guy to do, you might have to have a certain power build out.
Cool.
I think that maybe was done because unlike blood sorcery where the baseline blood sorcery is not as powerful but you bolster that with the rituals, Oblivion is just a regular ass discipline and then you also get access to the ceremonies. So I think to keep that a little bit balanced, they have some prereqs. So yeah, if you decide you don't want to do that at your table, don't fucking do it.
Bam, fixed.
Bam, solving that. Learning ceremonies, requires a teacher and should take roughly the time and the number of weeks equal to the square of the ceremony level, just like rituals.
Yeah.
So mostly it's like, do you know how rituals work for blood sorcery? Yeah. Ceremonies are the same.
Hell yeah.
And because of that, I'm like, hey, if you want to pull some necromancy rites from the old editions into 5th edition using the write your own ritual rules from blood sigils, go for it.
Yeah, there's no reason not to, I suppose.
Yeah. Or if you want to make your own oddly specific death ceremony for your game, there's rules to write that shit. So have fun.
Yay.
So the clan banes boil down to, they got 2 options, which is painful kiss, which is the bite for the Hecata fucking sucks.
Hurts lots. Like if you were actually being bitten in the neck or wherever hard enough to draw that amount of blood.
And worse.
Yeah.
Like it's supernaturally worse than just getting bitten by a weird guy. It's like the opposite. Like, you know how the normal bite for a vampire is like super horny and euphoric and da da da. It is the exact opposite. To the point that if a mortal is unwilling and not restrained, you have to basically do rolls to be able to like grab them.
People hold because they're going to be fighting away.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because it's like such an existential, like core animal thing for mortals to be like, I don't want it. No, no, no. This is bad.
Yeah.
Nope, nope, nope. Uh, Unwilling mortals not restrained will try to escape. Even those coerced or willing must make a stamina plus resolve test against bane severity +2 as the
Damn.
difficulty. Coerced and willing vampire victims of the Hecata bite must make a frenzy test against difficulty 3 to avoid falling into a terror frenzy.
Look.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. Hecata may
How
only
would you
take harmful
describe
drinks
that?
resulting
Like,
in blood loss. Yeah.
how do you think would be fun ways to like to describe it? Like, is it they bite and like the coldness of oblivion like seeps through the veins of the person they're biting, that kind of shit?
I think that could be one way of doing it. I also like leaning into the just this very primal rudimentary fear of you are engaging with a predator. This thing could kill you if it's so decided, and just basically the lizard part of your brain is kicking in and going, nope, 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 nope.
Bet. Okay.
And then you get to add and also this hurts like a motherfucker.
Right.
I will let people decide how graphically they want to describe the pain levels in it. I have, as a storyteller, described a Hecata bite on the same pain level of like getting an IUD put in, which all my uterine havers that have had an IUD in, no. But I've also not like broken bones and various other very painful experiences that people can experience. So,
Sure.
to flavor that how you will.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, it could be just like it feels like cold. I'm trying to think. Have you ever, because I fucked around in like sub-zero freezers before. Have you ever like accidentally leaned on metal in there with like your bare skin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember
don't
that
do
time I
that.
had to go on the hike to get gas when we lived in Piss House because my motorcycle
Vaguely.
gas tank was empty and it was like -30 out? I had to take my
Vaguely.
glove off to operate the gas machine. That was awful.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was real bad. It was
Yeah.
out for like 3 seconds because I couldn't like get my card out of my wallet. I took my glove off like 4 seconds, get the thing out, swipe, put it back on, and like couldn't feel my fingertips for a couple minutes.
Oh, that sucks.
It was fucking scary.
That sucks. You're
So
just
why
like, I
did I
don't know
do
if I have a
that?
hand.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. The other option they give you for clan banes is decay. So basically, because the Hecata is so intertwined with death and entropy, basically things around them just constantly decay at a much faster rate. Um, so because of this problem, some Hecata will spend extra money and time and effort to make sure that the people around them and their havens and all of that are actually kept in a much higher standard because they're constantly having to counteract the death aura that they have. Which mechanically this results in those who must spend considerable time and effort to keep their assets from decaying around them. The Hecata vampire suffers additional dots and flaws equal to their bane severity, divided as they see fit among retainer, haven, and resources flaws. These can either be taken at the character creation or bought off by paying twice the amount of background dots. In addition, purchasing dots in these advantages costs an additional amount of experience point equal to the bane severity.
Damn.
Yeah. So, um, I can respect if a player's like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with just like how torturous and painful the Hecata bite is. I don't want to deal with that in the game. So you have this other option. I like that the book also brings up hey, there are a lot of Hecata because they deal with like fucky business stuff, have very easy ways to work around their bite being fucked up.
Right.
So if you want that player to still deal with consequences,
Have
give
them
them
take
this bane
this.
instead.
Yeah.
So it's like hey, you have a very easy workaround, so you still technically like have the painful bite, but it's narratively never going to come up. So we're gonna do this instead.
Sure. I like it.
Cause yeah,
Also, we'll-
yeah,
I'll say we'll talk about it when we get to them, but there are also some bloodlines in the Hecata that I think you could argue should take the Nosferatu Bane
yes,
instead.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like which
actually
one?
well, I was specific. The first one that comes to mind is the Samdi, but
Yeah,
since their old Bane was literally they were just a corpse,
yeah. I mean, like,
you could mechanically just roll that exactly how the Nosferatu works, but describe them more corpse-like instead of monstrous.
yeah. Instead of just being a fucked up little bat boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would work. I also think there might be room for, depending on your Hakata, if you wanted to take the alt Nosferatu Bane instead, where you just like vermin or pestilence just constantly follows you around.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's some room to there's some room. Compulsion, morbidity. The vampire experiences an immediate need to move something from life to death or vice versa.
Oh.
So you could absolutely have a Hakata that is just a Frankenstein, where he's like, I just want to bring everything back to life. I killed it. Can I bring it back? I could better understand death if I can bring something back to life. So are you gonna like fuck or anything like that? No, 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 no. I'm gonna build a big contraption. I'm gonna drink a lot of milk and build a big contraption. It's fine. Uh, any action taken that is not dedicated to ending or resurrecting something is taken at a 2 dice penalty.
Oof.
The subject does not have to be a person or even a living thing. It can include objects or even more abstract things such as an idea or a conversation. That's where I find this very fun. Just this Hakata guy whose entire compulsion is like, I just have to be a buzzkill. Literally Colin Robinson.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. The coterie merit for the Hecata is Ars Morendi. I did not take Latin or Italian, so I do not know if I said that right. Shrug. Almost all members of the Hecata clan are at least cursorily familiar with death and or the deed. The dead, sorry, I typoed. Anyways,
I mean, that too.
yes. Ayo. Once per session, the necromancer is able to mask the corpse of someone killed by a member of the coterie. They can disguise the foul play in the case of a mortal corpse or protect the masquerade by making the remains of a destroyed vampire draw less attention, usually by efficiently disposing of it. These are quick and dirty fixes, though, and will not divert somebody who's already on the trail, but they can provide some breathing space to the coterie, which I'm like, that's super fucking helpful. That is
Yeah.
so helpful. Because, god damn it, the amount of games that I've been in for Vampire where people are in a situation where, like, this should just be a conversation. And it immediately goes to murder, death, and violence.
I mean, sometimes conversations just don't work out, and you gotta hit somebody with an axe.
Listen, I have another game where it's like I was legit just trying to gather some intelligence. I was smart. I snuck in. I used Master of 1,000 Faces to put on a little disguise. It was going great. And then one motherfucker in the group had to decide to kill a guard at the gate. And
I mean,
then,
listen,
well,
if he wouldn't raise the little army thing, how am I supposed to walk around that little up and
right,
down
and then
traffic
yeah,
cone? I
and
have
then
to kill
after
the guy
that,
so I can push the button.
yeah, and then after that, there was a high-speed chase where a bomb got thrown at me from the guy that was on my team. I
Great
caught a
job,
stray.
bud.
It's bullshit. Yeah, having a
Great
Hecata
job,
would have
bud.
helped. Love. Yeah, so that is Hecata Part 1 with the generals of this is broadly what the clan should be doing.
Hell
I
yeah.
have no idea at time of recording right now what bloodline we'll be covering first, second, or third. It'll be interesting. Okay, legit preamble because I've been doing trying to do research ahead of time to like prep for writing so I'm not like stuck in script hell. There's some really interesting, cool fucking things. And then other times there's things where I'm like, dear God, why is this in here?
Like that one ritual?
Oh, yeah, like the one ritual that is made up of sewing a bunch of genitalia together and then everybody that's taking part in the ritual picking their favorite pole or hole to use for the ritual. Yeah.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be
like
vampire
that
without
one.
that.
I mean,
Hunter, no.
I just mean the
That's
general. What the fuck is this? Occasionally.
oh well,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
that's truly the
But it
amount of
doesn't
times where I'm
have
just
to be
like,
like this.
it's like I am
Does it not
okay and
though?
fine with things being horrifying. I enjoy that shit, but sometimes I'm like, girl, the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who in the writing room was working out what problem, but fuck, okay.
I hope you're feeling better now.
Yeah, I hope you got help. I really hope the Zoloft is doing it for you. Whew. So, how you guys feeling about this so far?
I'm having
I'm
fun.
digging it. I've
Yeah.
always really liked like there are a couple families that I've always thought are cool. Cappadocians. I'm excited to talk about them.
Yee.
They're my favorite of the at least of the ones that I remember reading when I was younger.
Yee. There's also the fun of conflicting narratives. Strap in, guys. It turns out each of the factions has their own ideas on what the fuck has happened. So
What?
I will absolutely be telling the exact same event over and over again, from wildly different perspectives.
Nice.
Oh, so
And it
it's a
makes me feel
vampire
like,
thing.
yeah, so it's just making me feel gaslit. Where it's like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on narratively. That's fantastic. Why do I have this other note?
This doesn't fit here.
This doesn't fit here. It's just like, cool. I'm just gonna have to make a fucking red string board, but it's made out of bones and cousin fucking. Uh,
Do you feel
I'm
like you're
sorry. I'll
putting
give.
together a jigsaw
Mm,
puzzle, but all the pieces do fit together, but they're from different jigsaw puzzles?
yeah, a little bit.
Kinda.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like different
Mm-hmm.
images, but the same stamp of
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of these do fit, at least with the original like vibe of what the Hecata was.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some that are just like, I kind of get it. This kind of makes sense here. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
just like you just didn't know where else to put it, and you hammered this puzzle piece in, huh?
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll answer some of those questions, comments, concerns. I I'm trying to prepare myself for this because also in dealing with all of the lore for the bloodlines, I am gonna have to constantly be digging into the cosmology of World of Darkness. Because these fuckers screw with like fundamental forces of the goddamn universe and
Death
just
magic.
it I'm not saying it might be the Hecata's fault why the Shadowlands and parts of the Umbra are super fucked up right now, and that's why werewolf is the way it is now, but
You're also not gonna say that it's not.
I'm also not gonna say it's not, and I'm also not gonna say that certain members of the Hecata might be fucking with demons. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Wait a
Um
second. Demons aren't dead. They were never technically alive.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
that is a philosophical debate for another day, I believe.
Yes, truly. So thank you, Paralyze, for the Muzak. You guys should go give them dollar dues on Bandcamp, especially because Bandcamp has said no AI.
It's true.
Fuck yeah. Supporting real artists doing real things, including Paralyze. Give them money and attention.
This is
They're
Cowboy.
great. Oh my god, Kitty! Sorry, everyone. This is the first time I've seen this little face. Oh my goodness.
They
This is
can't
Oh my
Scout.
god.
see us, but we can let them know we're seeing a kitty.
Yeah,
He's a little Maine
have
Coon
you
boy.
shared? Oh, baby. Might need to put a photo of him in the patron chat just as, hi, this is our episode head up, cat. Everyone's gonna be like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, we have social medias on Instagram and TikTok and Blue Sky. We will be getting better at posting on those. Whoops.
Probably.
We're trying. Life has been crazy, flipped, turned upside down. We're getting there. It's fine. Patreon, we have that. Thank you for those who pay for us to do this show and pay for equipment and things. It's great. If you enjoy our work and you want to shove us some dollary dues, do it.
I dare you.
It gives you access to help vote on polls and stuff to help the show and
We
other
have
little goodies and things to hang out with us on the community Discord.
and on the Patreon, we have a ton of patron episodes coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting caught up. We missed two at the end of last year as we were situating, and people were moving out of the country temporarily, and all kinds of craziness, changing jobs. So we're
Yeah.
getting the 2 episodes that we owe you from last year, along with this month's, and you're getting 3 patron episodes this month.
Yes,
Well,
and then
it's the 16th we're recording this, so they might roll over until next month. But we are going to give you 2 bonus plus the monthly ones coming up anyway. So there's going to be a ton of Patreon episodes hitting the chat.
yes.
If you're interested in those, we got some fun ones coming up. I got a poll we put up for that, and so we got some fun stuff. We're going to be talking about some other 90s vampire games that tried to bite off vampires vibe. There were quite a few
Nice.
that said, I can do this but better.
Fantastic.
So
And then they didn't.
that-
Or
That's
did. We'll
out.
find out.
I think that's going to be a little series. I'm going to start with a fun one, though. I got that in mind. Also, we're probably going to be talking about the poll's not quite over, but the results are in. We're also going to have some real world vampire encounters discussion coming up. We're going to talk about the history of Batboy.
Fuck yeah.
There might be some
Fuck yes.
Ravenloft talk coming up. We got a lot of fun stuff.
Yes. And we
I
also
do
have a
have
pretty
the-
solid little back catalog.
Yes, we do. So all those are on the Patreon as well. And if we get back to 500 a month, we will go back to doing 4 episodes a month. So
Yes.
that
The
is our next
economy.
goal
She's in
there.
shambles.
Truly.
But yeah, also if you do a cool project and you want to talk to us about it, hit us up at blankbuddies@gmail. We like talk to people about things and stuff. So
And stuff.
and
Especially
Things.
stuff. Things, all right. But if you got stuff to talk about, let's
Let's
go.
fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah, I think that's it. My brain is soup. It's gonna become more soup.
Yay, soup.
I've been eating a
But
lot
this
of
will be the
soup
last
recently.
What kind of soup?
It's God.
Well, I guess last night I didn't have soup.
You
I had
fucking
stir
liars.
fry.
That's
But the day before that, I had
I don't care anymore.
I had a ginger carrot soup with
Buddy.
onions and some other stuff. I forget what was all in it. And then like a couple days before that, I had a lentil soup that was very good.
You
Okay.
had a perfect opportunity to say you had a bone broth for the joke, and you just didn't hit it.
Fuck.
John, get us out of here. John.
Oh yeah, we should leave. All right. Bye
John, get us
everyone.
outta
I
here.
love you. That was a deadly kiss.
Oh no! Ow!
Mine
The kiss of the
especially.
grave.
Ooh, spooky.